I want Nick Khan to just shut up. Because he keeps going on news or calls or interviews or whatever, saying, we got all these great surprises lined up for this event. You're going to love it.
And we get nothing.
And it's getting us thinking, the Fiend's going to come back. Matt Cardona's going to come. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that could happen. And what do we get? Shane McMahon tearing his quad. That's the big surprise you were promising? Thank you. We were all waiting for Here Comes the Money to ring through that arena. We were all waiting for it, and you delivered, Nick Khan. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm bitter. I really am. I'm so mad.
Matt's been going through a thing.
Don't look at me. I've been going through something.
We've been going through some things. And welcome back to the Two Words Podcast, where our two words are a question, and that question is, what now? What now? Because, I don't know.
Now what?
Is now what? Now what?
Dang it, it's important that we get that right.
We get that right. Now what? Because we've come to the end of the season. We've started a new season. We have a fresh canvas in front of us with WWE, and it feels like AEW as well. And so now what are we going to do with it? And now what would we like to see? Now, I mentioned in our last segment that Matt has some very big feelings, and I'm going to let him get those feelings out of the way.
I think it's important too, because a lot has happened since just in this short half a week since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And this is setting the tone for where we go. And we can then build our hopes afterwards. But we're starting in a worse place than the final match of WrestleMania 39. It got so much worse.
So much worse in 24
we've had
hours. One show.
So WrestleMania, good. Not the best, but good.
Fine.
Cody Roman thing, big letdown. Could be good. And the idea behind that is, one complaint that we kind of had about Cody winning was that it seemed too easy. He came in last in Royal Rumble and won it.
Yeah.
And then boom, he's here. And so now we might have a whole year or half a year build up to a rematch. The end result could be better in the future than it would have been like. So I'm okay with that. Here's what I don't like. Vince McMahon. Period. No. Vince McMahon.
This is what I don't like.
Went on CNBC to talk about the new deal with Endeavor Monday morning. And he was asked if he was getting back in charge of creative. And he said that he would always have a say in the big picture, but he wasn't going to be getting into the weeds. He wasn't going to be into the daily shows. He wasn't going to be in gorilla position. He's going to have his say in the overarching storylines. But that was it. Okay. Which is what we've kind of thought he probably still has had this whole time. Triple H met with all the superstars at the beginning of the day also on Monday, promising that nothing was changing and that the changes that took place in creative months ago were still going to be the case moving forward.
Which is a lie.
Exactly.
Like, they already knew it was a lie.
Yeah. He then kicked off Raw, Triple H, by coming out to the ring and promising that with all the rumors and everything swirling around, that we aren't going anywhere, implying that we should not be worrying about any big changes happening. Then not only did Vince sit his mustachioed butt in gorilla position all night for the Raw After Mania, the biggest Raw of the year, but he made no less than 7 major creative changes to the show, most of which happened as the show was airing.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst Raw After Mania episodes.
Oh, 1,000%.
In years.
1,000%.
And that's saying something, because a lot of them have been disappointing in the last few years, but we blame them all on Vince.
And you know what? And I'll let you finish. But
Go ahead.
like,
I'm gonna let you finish, but
I'm gonna let you finish. But here's the deal. I give so much crap to Tony Khan and his Vince Russo-esque booking, and yet Vince McMahon is making changes during the match.
Yeah.
Like he is making changes at 0 hour, and that's garbage storytelling. It's not how you do that.
And that's what got everybody riled up pre-Vince leaving before, is he was doing that every night.
Yeah.
Every show, he was making change after change after change, all the way up to show starting, and then sometimes in the middle, and it made for just this disorienting TV that nobody wanted to watch anymore.
Yeah.
It was getting so bad.
Crash
and that's why we
TV
were so
is-
happy when he left. Reports indicate that morale backstage at WWE is at an all-time low, that several superstars have already indicated that if Vince continues worming his way back into creative, they are going to be asking for their releases. This includes an unnamed top-level superstar. So really, what happens next with WWE comes down to SmackDown. Comes down to this SmackDown this week. They are going to be in Portland. Triple H is planning to speak again at the beginning of this SmackDown. Not sure what he's going to say, unless it is, don't worry, Vince is not going to be in gorilla position. Because the speculation, the hopeful speculation is that the only reason Vince sat himself down there is because it was in LA and he was already in LA. And this one's going to be in Portland, and the hope is he's not following them to Portland, but instead he's going back to Connecticut or wherever. The hope is that he is not going to be following the show around. That his new role with the soon-to-be-named new joint company is going to keep him in an office building, and he will have, some Skyped over the, internet thoughts to share with the creative team that's on the road, but that he will keep his gross mustache in his office. And that's really going to be the best thing. But if the reports come back that he's in Gorilla in Portland, I have little hope that we're going to get what we want this year.
I have little hope that we're going to get what we want anyway, because I'm asking for a lot. But so I guess just we start with the now what? What do I want to see in the next year? In the next year, I want to see them spread the love. And what I mean by that is I do not want to see Roman Reigns or the Usos or I don't want to see Bray Wyatt. I don't want to see them at the next pay-per-view.
Well, you didn't see Bray Wyatt at this pay-per-view.
I don't want to see a pay-per-view with any of the people we've seen. I want to see I want to see a pay-per-view that doesn't have Brock Lesnar. I want to see a pay-per-view that doesn't showcase Becky Lynch or Charlotte. I want them to use the roster that they have, because their roster is immensely talented. And in the same way with AEW, but AEW has some more outlets for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to, we need to rotate this stuff in and out, because what you're going to get is you're going to get happier wrestlers. You're going to get happier fans that don't get burnt out. We're not going to have to deal with all of this 1,000-day championship runs that nobody asked for, that started off in a garbage heap and is ending in a garbage heap. And I get it. We all love Roman Reigns, and we've all loved what he's become in the last 3 years. But at the same time, I'm done. I don't need to see that. I don't need to see I don't need to see the WWE putting tag teams of random guys together to face the Usos because they don't want to give Alpha Academy a tag team title shot.
Can you imagine how fun it would be?
How much
for them to have
fun.
The titles and to hold them for a long time?
For a long time.
And just pull off incredible matches that no one sees coming?
Yeah.
They used to do that in the Attitude Era. They would put it on the Headbangers or someone stupid and let them have them for a little while and just have fun with them.
Just
it doesn't have to be this all intense bloodline nonsense for every single title all the time.
I mean, how many matches are on your average Raw nowadays? We got a 3-hour show and there's 6 4 matches.
I think we get up to 7, but like 2 or 3 of them are quick 2-minute squashes.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I want to see more wrestlers get more chances and more extended storylines.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a women's division that is the stackedest it's ever been. That's not a word, I know, but it's
stackerest it's ever been.
Stackiest stacked. It is a stacked roster. It is the best women's roster
Fantastic
that's ever been assembled. And they're using in every pay-per-view. And I get it. I love Becky Lynch too. I love Charlotte Flair. I do. We just raved about how much we loved Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. But like maybe Rhea Ripley wrestles, I don't know, Raquel Rodriguez for no reason.
Right.
Just 2 women whose combined height is 13 feet.
With a real match, not a squash match. Not a, I'm the champion, let me beat up all the people that are on the undercard.
Yeah.
But like real legitimate matches that make us feel like, hey, and you know what we need to see? I'm sorry, I'm stepping on it.
No, you're good.
But
we
need to see titles changing hands on shows occasionally.
On shows. 100%. I think I have that on here somewhere.
Yeah, because we're not that's not on my list. I just happened to think of it. Because with those matches that I want to see of real, like legitimate competition with the champion, I want to have the thought in the back of my head of this title could actually change hands tonight. Mm-hmm. And in order for that to happen, it's got to happen a couple times.
And they started that with the women's division recently because they had there was like 2 pay-per-views, and Liv Morgan won Money in the Bank, took the title, and then she wrestled Ronda Rousey on the next pay-per-view. And I'm like, okay, cool, we're spreading things out. And then immediately Charlotte Flair got the title.
Right.
And Liv Morgan's back to jumping out of birthday cakes.
Oh, it's so sad.
I just, I want to see more wrestlers get involved. I want to see, like, I want it when Cody Rhodes comes out at the Royal Rumble, like, it's a surprise. You're like, oh, I forgot he's here. Maybe he could win the Royal Rumble. Like, because we knew for 2 months Cody Rhodes is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Yep. Yeah. Like we didn't even get the element of surprise that he was gonna.
We were so certain of it. We didn't even make it one of our points on that show, on that watch along.
Right. Because they had already announced he was going to be in it.
Yeah.
Ahead of time.
They had already announced he was going to win.
And we thought the reason why he was going to be in it and that they were announcing it is because there was going to be another big name also that they did announce, like The Rock or somebody was going to come in, because there were still rumors that it was going to be Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. And then who was the other big surprise? Nobody.
I was going to say, I don't remember.
We didn't even get AJ Styles. It was nobody. Yeah. It was Nia Jax on the other one.
Yay.
Aren't you glad we only saw her that one night?
Yep. What about you? What do you?
I would like to see Orange Cassidy go feral. We were talking about it. We were talking about it on in the chat on one of the nights with Pastor Coco. Orange Cassidy's gotten real stale. He's been the exact same since AEW started, and he was the same in the Indies. He's been this character in the same format that it is for a long time. We need to see him snap. He can come back to this later.
Okay.
But we need to see him just like lose his mind.
Okay.
And go nuts. We need something to change.
I could see that.
Because I'm bored of him now. I loved him, and I loved the gimmick when AEW started, and it made me laugh every time. And then it, like the freaking dives out of the ring with his hands in his pockets, scared the junk out of me. It was all great, and now he's not doing anything new.
He's not even doing it,
and it's not exciting.
Yeah,
the gimmick is already him being like a boring person.
Yeah. and now it's actually boring.
Yeah, the fact that he was able to ride that for so long and still be entertaining is impressive. But now he's actually boring.
Yeah. I keeping in the AEW, I would like to see AEW and all of their brands stay put. I do not need to see the Ring of Honor champion on Dynamite. Yes. I don't. If I wanted to see the Ring of Honor champion, I'd watch Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. It's on public access, I'm pretty sure. or something. Like, if I wanted to watch Ring of Honor, I'll watch Ring of Honor.
Watch it on a dirty microwave.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I wanted to watch Impact, I would have watched Impact 6 years ago.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
you know, I don't need to see, and I don't need to see Kenny Omega, you know, I don't need to see the Young Bucks versus the Music City Machine Guns or whatever it is.
It was a fun couple months.
Yeah.
When they were doing this back and forth thing. But you're right. It should not be a constantly ongoing crossover event.
Do it for like once a year. Make it your Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Where like everybody wrestles each other. Like that's fun. I'm cool with that.
I mean, they do the Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Right? With a couple other promotions.
Yeah.
Make that the big thing. For a month leading up to it, have them cross over into each other's shows. That'll make it a novelty again.
Yeah.
But if it's just a constant ongoing thing, it's too exhausting to keep up with. I don't want to keep up with the roster for Ring of Honor or any of the other promotions. I don't want to have to keep up with every wrestler in New Japan. Just so in case they show up 1 week.
You have to pretend to be just as excited as Excalibur about it.
Right.
Oh my gosh! You're like having to like Google his matches.
Who's that? Do I need to do a deep dive in Wikipedia to care about this guy now?
Find out all these guys. Yeah, I don't, you know, and that will also make the individual shows better. That will make Ring of Honor better. Yeah. That will make because now why watch Ring of Honor?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're watching the one guy on Ring of Honor you actually want to see.
Yeah, you'll get the biggest storyline happening over in AEW instead.
Yeah. The reason that it was perfect last year's Royal Rumble when Mickie James came out with the Impact Women's Knockout or the Knockouts Championship, because it had never happened. We had relegated that it was never gonna happen, and then suddenly it did. And you're like, this is amazing. We didn't even have to be surprised about that.
Yep, it was fun, and they didn't make her look weak or anything either.
No.
That was a big plus.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bring her in and then throw her out and show her she's not a real champion because she belongs to another promotion.
Yeah.
Like, she was in there for a good while. Like, it was good. That's how you should do those kind of crossovers, for sure. And
have and that I think would be much easier to convince WWE of doing some sort of Forbidden Door thing with them. Like, hey, can we just borrow your Intercontinental Champion for,
right.
couple weeks.
All right, my next thing, back to WWE. I need to see the Bloodline actually implode. I do not want to watch the Usos and Solo Sikoa blindly following Roman Reigns for an entire another year. I need to see Jay turn his back on Roman Reigns. I laid out on the pay-per-view how that would have been the perfect time to defect.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been a beautiful, symmetrical story. Had, at the end, Jay turned on Jimmy, knocked him down, and then did the whole displayed the body out for Sami Zayn to come and pin, mirroring what happened at War Games. It would have been beautiful, and then Jay just walks out into the sunset, and we don't know what's going to happen with him and Roman Reigns in the future. Yeah. It would have been great. It would have set up such a fun, weird rivalry storyline that Roman could have done for a while had he not been the champion. It'd still give him a bit of a story and then a reason to leave.
Yeah.
And we're just in the same spot that we were, except the Usos don't have the tag titles, and so they're going to get a little bit of monkey shines from Roman Reigns for a while, little cold shoulder, and that's all we're getting so far. I need an actual ending to this. I don't want them to just dissipate. I don't want them to just walk away. I need to see what was set up at the very freaking beginning of this whole storyline.
Yeah,
I need to see Jay flipping kick the dude in the face. I need to see it happen. If I don't see it happen, I send it back.
That's exactly it. Well, because you had the Usos had the tag titles for so long, it's like, well, there's no story other than like the Usos have the tag titles.
Right.
Like, give me a story.
And I don't want it just to be them chasing after Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens forever. I give you 1 month to do that. Have the match end at Backlash, have them lose again, and it'd be done.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be back and forth for the next 6 months between these two people.
No. Because just like I was saying with the women's division, like you have a really stacked tag team division.
Yeah.
That's really great. And
Absolutely.
like, what are you doing there? Kind of playing off of something you said earlier, I want more storylines to take place on Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
I want more stuff. And I guess really what I want is I want more wrestling to happen on my wrestling shows. One of the reasons I don't want to see Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar or even Logan Paul at this point is I want to see wrestlers who wrestle every week.
Yeah.
I'm done with this part-time bullcrap. It's senseless. And it was fine when you had one guy. When you had Brock Lesnar was the part-time champion, that was fine. Because he was the guy everybody was chasing. And now it's like, now his contract is the thing everybody's chasing. Everybody wants a part-time contract. Nobody wants to wrestle, 4 times in a month. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you've got all of this talent, and you've got a 3-hour show, and we're doing 6 matches.
And let me bounce off that and go back to Raw after WrestleMania. Raw after WrestleMania started off with Cody Rhodes challenging Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa to a tag team match.
Yeah.
Something that Cody Rhodes has not been a part of in years. A tag team match. And who did his partner come out to be? Brock freaking Lesnar. And so they started off the Raw after WrestleMania promising us Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes and Brock freaking Lesnar is the main event. And that
biggest match of the year.
A fantastic main event for this amazing biggest Raw of the year event. And what did we get?
20 minutes of Brock Lesnar beating the ever-living crap out of Cody Rhodes.
I was livid. Livid, John.
I left the room 5 minutes into that to make a sandwich. And when I came back, I was like, oh, this is still happening?
Yes.
Like 20 minutes.
There was plenty of time for them to have the actual match. And then let Brock Lesnar beat up Cody Rhodes afterwards. There was plenty of time for that. But they couldn't even give us a 5-minute part of a match or anything. They couldn't even get it started. And Roman Reigns just hopped off the apron and left. Like, really?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing? This is how we're kicking off the year? Yeah. And WWE released a little statement saying that we're getting the exact reaction we wanted from Raw after WrestleMania. Are you sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Everybody's upset. Everybody hates it. Everybody is saying they're done.
Maybe this is the reaction they wanted.
Maybe they wanted to. Maybe they're trying to take Endeavor down.
I want you to feel something. Wouldn't that just fit? That just sounds so much like.
It's okay that you boo. It means you felt something.
Yes. It's like it's in my mind. You just said that. Like in my mind, they were all on some like studio lot or whatever, and they were getting lunch, and Dana White like took the last cheese Danish, and Vince McMahon was like, "I'm taking that company down."
Yeah, that's it.
And so he's just like, I'm going to make everybody hate. I'm going to get them to love my product. I'm going to get them to buy my product, and then I'm going to make it fail. And that just sounds so much like, and the last thing that I really want to see, kind of one of those, I know it's never going to happen. I think the WWE should sign the Blackpool Combat Club. I would love to see them in their tag. I think that would be the best addition to their tag team division, and I think they'd be great. I'd watch them versus the Bloodline for like one last thing. I'd maybe give it that, but I want to see all those guys.
It'd be fun. Yeah. My last thing is more something I don't want them to do.
Okay.
I'll rephrase it. It's something I want them to do. I want Nick Khan to just shut up. Because he He keeps going on news or calls or interviews or whatever saying, we got all these great surprises lined up for this event. You're going to love it.
And then we get nothing.
And it's getting us thinking, the Fiend's going to come back. Matt Cardona's going to come. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that could happen. And what do we get? Shane McMahon tearing his quad. That's the big surprise you were promising? Thank you. We were all waiting for Here Comes the Money to ring through that arena. We were all waiting for it, and you delivered, Nick Khan. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm bitter. I really am. I'm so mad.
Matt's been going through a thing.
Don't look at me. I've been going through something.
We go through some things.
I know we say it all the time, John, and I know every wrestling fan says it. We could book this so much better.
Yeah.
If they would just listen. They don't.
They won't.
They don't care.
They don't care about
Triple
us.
H kind of cared, but now Vince McMahon has got his hand up Triple H's beehole, puppeting him. Nothing's gonna change, everybody. We're all good.
It's gonna be just fine.
Here's some water. I spit it. Everybody lap it up. That's right. Drink it all up, universe.
Oh man.
It's this. I want this to be the rock bottom. I want this to be where we bounce. Okay.
Okay.
I want to come back from this better and stronger, WWE. Better and stronger.
We're gonna make it happen.
If you're gonna make us wait until WrestleMania 40 for Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns, you better freaking make that pay-per-view the best darn WrestleMania on the planet.
And I'm telling you right now, if they're going to be marketing this as WrestleMania XL, it better be freaking good. I'm done.
Better be dang XL.
It better be XL.
We better leave, except for the time. Don't make it longer. 3-night WrestleMania. All right, here we are, WrestleMania Friday. We got a solid 17 hours coming up over this weekend.
Just straight through, too. No breaks, no breaks. Well, we are so glad. You know what? We act this way, but we are, I think, a little bit excited about the coming year. We are ready for the coming season of wrestling, and I think we are on the precipice of something really beautiful.
Could be good if they just do it right.
Here's hoping. Well, that is our show. Like and subscribe. You can find this podcast anywhere you're listening to podcasts. So if you're listening to it right now and you're like, man, I wish I was listening to it somewhere else, you probably can. I do that. Does anybody else do that? Where they like you listen to a podcast on 3 different things just to get kind of depending on what app you're at right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I do that all the time.
I want to make it available nowhere where I am. If I got Spotify open and I'm listening to Jim Gaffigan, I want to be able to switch over to the 2 words at a moment's notice.
You will want to be able to. So like and subscribe. Go over to our socials at 2 words LTN. You know, I haven't messed that up in a while. I'm very proud of myself.
I think it's been a solid season's worth of episodes.
It's been a solid season's worth of episodes. Yeah. We're doing it. Any of our socials, just go over there. Give us a little like button, a little follow. Even leave us a little note. Leave us a little like encouragement. Hey, I love you guys.
Give us a little kiss.
Give a little, mwah. Yeah, you guys are great. I think you're both very handsome. Whatever. But that's our show, and we will be back in a couple of weeks with some more fun. So until then, my name is John. His name is Matt. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you.